We're live, and so I'm going to hit this button. Hello, and welcome to the 10-minute tabletop talk podcast. I'm your host, Grant Ellis, and joining me tonight is my friend. I want to say good friend, but I think I'm going to get the question, are we? Eyebrow raise?
I wasn't gonna say anything. Legally, I think I can't. I think the injunction you slapped me with last time is still in effect.
So this is Colin Mr. Coolguy from the Phantom Roll Booth and Itch and other places. Colin, why do you play Pendragon like every week?
I play Pendragon every week for two reasons. One, it allows me to, as Greg Stafford said, experience mortality in a personal way without actually dying. I also really like medieval literature, and there's something cathartic to raising like a little paper child on your character sheet and sending them off to war.
How does the experience differ than, say, other games you might have played that have similar themes? Or have you played any games that have similar themes to Pendragon?
I think I played games that proclaim or espouse to have similar themes, but I've yet to find one that really nails the same sense of both finality and continuity. You have when you're playing Pendragon, you both have one character and also a legacy of characters. And negotiating those two things, one as a reaction to the other. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's like an indie game out on itch right now, like a single serving kind of thing where you sit down and have that experience. But Pendragon teases it out. It's really there to be experienced. It doesn't tell you to find it.
And roughly how many sessions are you into your campaign?
I did the math on this. We are 50. 42 episodes on. Yeah, 42 episodes are on YouTube right now. That's about how many we've got.
And how many more do you think you're going to play?
I mathed it out. We're playing the Great Pendragon Campaign, which covers 80 years of Arthuriana, the Arthur cycle. Each
Arthuriana
session.
was my stage name. I had tassels on my titties. Go on.
80 years in the Great Pendragon Campaign, and we do about 2 sessions per in-game year, so I'm looking at about 150 to 160 sessions. I anticipate more because we sometimes do 3 sessions to a year. So
Indulge.
a lot. It's a lot.
How straight is your Pendragon mechanically compared to other Eric Vulgaris campaigns I've played in, where it's kind of an odd knob of things here and there?
If you've played with Eric Vulgaris, you know that their instinct is to almost immediately begin tinkering. And so we have a lot of bespoke stuff in there. I think the core of it is not changed because that's sort of the core, and we all recognize like we haven't modified the traits and passions. We haven't really muddled with the basic task resolution or anything like that. But like Eric came up with a horse breeding minigame that he plays during prep and that we sort of interact with, and his own winter phase sort of resolution of rating as a function of income. So a lot of bits and bobbins, but I think ultimately very much Pendragon at core.
What is your favorite Eric Vulgaris mod to a game? Your favorite tinkering?
My favorite tinkering, favorite mod with a game. I believe it or not, I've only played with Eric like twice at
Ever.
conventions. No, and then the like I haven't played a lot of single sessions with him as a GM. I have GM'd for them before, but so I would say I liked how he handled initiative. We're playing through Dragon Heist when it first came out before a convention, and he just changed how like inspiration works, and made it as a function of like you have a role playing goal for the session that's tied to your
Nice.
like beliefs and bonds, and it was a way to rope those in and put them in front of your character and say, this is the thing you chase, like try and get this moment for inspiration.
Yeah, I think my kid is going to be a lot like Eric, because I asked him if he wanted to play chess tonight, and he said only if we can play one of my mods. He's 9, right? So, and I was like, well, what mod? He goes, the new unit mod. I'm like, the
Oh
new
my god.
unit mod? Yeah. And I said, how does that work? He goes, well, you can on your turn choose to combine units if the unit is diagonal from you, and that unit will gain the ability of the piece it combines with on top of it, and it gets a second hit point. I go, well, how does that work? Like, I go to take it and then you're just going to capture me? He goes, no, you swap places. So if your bishop's diagonally on the other side, it loses its hit point, and then they swap places. And he's
It's
9, and he's modded chess, where it's the new unit mod with
Voltron
HG.
chess.
It's awesome. And like I played it with him. It added a whole new dynamic. And like I was very proud of him. And I was like, why? He goes, well, I just like to think of my own little games. And he always describes it like that. He's like, this is my own little game. Um, yeah, he's great. Like the second time I played him in chess, he goes, I know I've lost. I go, how do you know you've lost? He shows me how he's 3 moves from mate, where I'm like, wow, I didn't know I had you. Yeah, kids are fun. So let's talk about adjacent to ttrpgs. You are also teaching. How's school going? What's the most interesting part of that gig?
School, my semester is done. I'm not teaching it until next semester, so I have a little break. Got a little break. Um,
Like it ended prematurely, or you went all the way to the end?
yeah, I taught my whole semester. It's just
Okay.
they
They didn't
didn't
ask
hire
you to
me for
leave
this.
under
No,
strange
no,
circumstances. No,
no.
no.
They need me around. They're trying to throw these
Right.
100 level courses at me because no one else wants to fucking do them. And I'm like, I don't want to do them either. But after teaching a 200 level course and finding out how so many of these kids don't know how to write like an essay, and more
Yeah.
fundamentally don't know how to organize an argument, which I would say essay writing is more than just organizing your argument. There is an art and craft to it. There is a sense of aesthetic. It's an aesthetic for academics, so it's terrible.
So
um
they should spend more time on Twitter, is what you're saying, and learn how to
I
organize it.
I
No.
I hate you so much for saying that. No, no.
Sorry. Yeah.
Um,
So,
but it's so I've enjoyed like I trying to teach them how to organize an argument
yeah.
and then put that in a paper. So if I can teach it at a 100 level, I think I'm going to prepare them better than I was receiving at the 200 level.
Bless you for that. So, um, and do you have any like goals or aspirations as a teacher? Because like I'm more of a coach than a teacher. I've done some teaching, but it's been maybe a decade since I was post
Uh,
secondary.
the thing I've realized and come to terms with is I don't, and in fact, am very uncomfortable with things like career aspirations, especially when it comes to academia.
Yeah,
I
this is less
am
career and more just the task of teaching.
Yeah, I want. I mean, I've been looking at PhD programs. I'm thinking about getting another master's. I'm very much in it for learning as its own good. It's
Hmm.
just what if you ascribe to a dualism of the soul, it is what my soul wants, and I'm no longer fighting that or feeling guilty that it is very impractical.
Yeah. Um, and then if we were to take maybe some of the experiences that you've had in the teaching arena and apply it to your RPGs, how might you do that?
I would
You have to
speak
sing
to
this
my students
portion.
like I'd sit. I teach my students the way I GM, like mantling that authoritative voice. Even though I'm not someone who likes to have a hierarchical authority, yeah, that's what I bring.
So, Colin, where can we find you online?
Oh, I'll find you.
So I'm gonna if you read below the fold on this YouTube video, I'm posting Colin's home address, social, debit card number, and blood type. This is Grant Ellis. Thank you so much for joining us this very special 10-minute tabletop talk podcast. Bye.